Wellness Wednesday to all of you. We are just so dang excited to kick off this awesome, amazing Wednesday with every single one of you and really just set our intentions with our mindset today. And I challenge everybody on here to at least get on a short podcast, read a few pages in a book, whether you have a new book or not. Sometimes it's good to go through the old ones. And I know for myself, this has been one of my favorites, The Magic, um, which is part of the Secret series. And this one just really speaks to me. So I encourage you guys first thing today, after you hop off here, when you can carve out 10 minutes to yourself, I would encourage you guys to grab a book or a podcast and continue to fill your heart with goodness. But I am Kendra Schwartz. I'm so excited to be on with you all today. And we're really going to, dive a little deep. The guests that we have on today, we're going to talk about rolling with the punches and eliminating those excuses. And I think that a lot of you can feel maybe some resistance coming in towards the end of January. Some are going to feel momentum, but really it is our mindset that really captivates all of that. And I think we're going to kick this off with Miss Sarah. Sarah, if you're on, would you mind unmuting yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and share from the heart, girl. I'm so excited to hear from you.
Hey, hello everybody. Hopefully you all can hear me. I'm Sarah Schmucker and I am a stay-at-home mom. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So my days, I very rarely get to just sit down. Before I have to tell you about my journey though, when I first started Thrive 3 years ago, I was a brand new mom. I did not get off the couch. My husband would come home and he would turn around and go back and get takeout because I didn't want to get off the couch to cook. I'd been sitting on the couch all day. I would make a couple trips to the kitchen and come back with handfuls of junk food just to get me through the day. I was napping. My daughter was so colicky. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like my life? And she was only a month old. And I was just already like, why? What do I do? Thank goodness a good friend of mine was reaching out. And she's like, girl, you need to try Thrive. It's going to help you with this, that, and the other. And I'm just thinking, yeah, right. This is not going to happen. This is not going to work. After probably a month, I decided to jump on board and I've been thriving almost every single day since. I thrived through breastfeeding my firstborn. I thrived through my entire pregnancy with my second. And I also thrived breastfeeding with my second. Now I look back and I think, thank God that's not my life anymore because we have sold our first house, moved into our second house, and I have been remodeling this house since we moved in. I think I got things to where I like it and I want to change it. I have all the energy to keep up with my kids, keep my house in order, plus remodel. And I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Thrive. But getting into the business aspect of it, have confidence in your products and be confident about your story because your story might not relate to every single person, but it's going to relate to somebody. Whether it be a customer referral or somebody you made friends with in a group, it's going to relate to somebody out there. If your products work for you, they're going to work for somebody else. And if you don't have that confidence in them and you're not sharing that confidence, it's just not going to happen for you. My next thing is I want you guys to ask yourself these questions. Are you acting like a leader? And if not, why? Find somebody who inspires you and follow them and kind of mimic what they do if they inspire you. Like Kendra, for example, inspires me. She's always posting these bomb selfies and I'm like, oh, girl, now I need to go get that outfit and post a bomb selfie. are you being relatable in your posts? I used to think if I didn't have the perfect background with the perfect outfit and my hair and makeup weren't done, I just could not post a picture. It wasn't going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I had that mindset for probably a whole year. And thank goodness that I finally am just starting to realize, like, I need to be more relatable with my audience, with my friends, with my followers. I don't have to have the most perfect picture with the perfect background. I just need to show up and be myself. And so that's one thing that's changed for me in this last month to 2 months. And it's been amazing. Like the other day, I took a picture of my hallway. I cleaned out bedrooms and you couldn't even walk down my hallway. There was so much stuff in it. And I took a picture and posted it. And I got so many comments and likes on it. It was crazy. And I threw Thrive into that as well. Like if I didn't have my Thrive, I'd be sitting on the couch today and not cleaning and, organizing all the bedrooms today. Another thing is put the time in for your business. You can find 10, 15 minutes here and there. You can, everybody can. When you're sitting on the couch, watching TV, listen to a podcast while you're cooking dinner or folding laundry or an Audible or something. Like if you're not learning, you're not going to grow. So you should be learning. I learn new stuff constantly. And I never think that I know it all because I don't. And especially with social media, everything changes so much. So you really have to keep up on that. So learn and grow every single day. Read. I know reading has been a huge one for me. I'm also reading The Magic right now. I thought, what better way to start off 2021 than to read The Magic and get everything fresh in my head, to keep going. And then the last thing is just make sure you're being super consistent with your business. And this kind of relates back to the pictures, but I'm trying to post, at least 3 times a day, every single day now, where before, if I didn't have that perfect picture, I'd go a week without posting anything. And I find it so easy now that I have the correct mindset and I'm just kind of going with, my everyday. My days pretty much look the same every single day, but I still find something different to post every single day. My kids are funny. They have great personalities. Yesterday my youngest was walking around with her daddy's hat on backwards and I took a picture. I just missed the picture because she took it off and acted like she was going to hand it to me, but you have something to post and just make sure you're showing up and being relatable.
I love that so much. And, I think I've caught myself many times in that, not feeling like I have the perfect thing to post or the perfect thing to share, because what we're doing is we're playing that comparison game, aren't we? We're looking at somebody else that maybe has the best graphics, maybe they have the perfect words. And so many times we are trying to live in somebody else's shoes, but we have to live in our own shoes. We have to live and embrace our own life and embrace our own chaos and not be perfect. People are so tired of the persona on social media of everything is perfect. Showing that behind the scenes of the struggle, of the chaos, the not so perfect picture is going to make you so much more relatable to your audience, because your audience is more like you than they are somebody else that you're following. You guys, I had to go through and unfollow people like Courtney Glazer and some of these rock stars that don't make me feel good, because I'm not them. I'm never going to be them. And that's okay, because I'm me and they're never going to be me. And so many times we just have to stay consistent. And I know that a lot of us are feeling this right now. We have so many brand new people joining our team every single day. And the first couple of times they're posting, they're like, what the heck? Nobody's liking or commenting on my post. I must suck at this. This must not be for me. But the magic happens when they stay consistent, when they continue to share. And I promise you, people are watching. And I use this as an example of myself all the time, because I can post a picture of the boys, a funny meme, something personal, and 100 plus likes, comments, all that stuff. And then the second, later in the day, I'll post something Thrive related or who wants to get these 3 steps. There might be like 7 likes, but I've got inboxes because people are watching, and that's just how it rolls. And so I just encourage you guys, if you're still afraid to post, you're still afraid to share, you're trying to get in your rhythm, just rip off that band-aid and stay consistent. I have this power talk with myself as well. And Sarah, how funny that you are reading the magic right now too. Thank you so much. And I know that we don't want to get into too much of this, but to share a little bit more about Sarah's story, she's been dealing with a lot of personal things too, with, seasonal depression and things like that. And Sarah, do you mind if I bring you on really quick back? And I just want you to touch on that, how you kind of overcome that and had some self-love and self-care and been able to work through this, even though it still might be a little messy. I think a lot of people can relate, especially those that deal with seasonal depression and issues like that, if you don't mind, if you're able to.
Yeah, so I used to be an extrovert. Like I was the life of the party, in a sense. I was always going out. I had all the friends. I was fun. Like people wanted to be around me all the time. And then I became a stay-at-home mom, and my as you get older, your circle of friends just kind of gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Um I had a very rough pregnancy mentally with my second. And it was kind of new to me. Um I pretty much quit doing the business for a while. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I was so depressed. I was so sick. My anxiety, I could not hardly leave the house. If my husband was with me, I was okay. And then after she was born, I felt better. Like it was literally almost the second she was born, I just felt a sense of relief for some reason. And then COVID hit and my depression started getting worse. I'm a family person. I'm with my family all the time. My family was all quarantined. Um, it just hit me hard. Since then, my anxiety had gotten way worse. I have found I have certain triggers, loud noises, loud screaming, dogs barking super loud, like any little thing will send me into an anxiety attack. And for the longest time, I tried coping with this stuff myself. I really tried, everything under the sun to not go to the doctor. And it wasn't that I didn't think the doctor would help. It was just in the past, I had a bad experience with medication and I just didn't want to go down that route again. So finally, it got to the point where I'm at home by myself with my kids and I'm having multiple anxiety attacks a day. I didn't want to live like that. I got so sick of being, just panicked all the time and sweating from head to toe and shaking and nauseous. And finally, my husband had asked me multiple times, like, babe, can you please just go to the doctor and get some help? And finally, after I was on the floor crying, having a panic attack, an anxiety attack, I finally just said, I don't want to live like this anymore. I need to take control of my life. I don't like who I am. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm not being the best me I can be, but yet I have the products that help me be the best me that I can be. So I went to the doctor. She prescribed me medication and I do take it daily. But I'll tell you right now, if it wasn't for that medication and that doctor listening to me, and thank God she prescribed me with the medication that helped right off the bat, there is no way I'd be on this Zoom talking to you right now. Absolutely not. Um, it's kind of emotional for me in a way to think that I let myself get that bad before getting help, but it's okay to get help and it's okay to ask for help. And we only have one life, so let's live the best life, you guys. I had to overcome all of that and my being scared of getting on medication again. But one thing I did is I hid it from a lot of people. Like nobody really knew I was going through this. Only a small handful of people knew. Um, but after I got the help, I started becoming me again and loving my life. And now I'm doing all these house renovation projects to where my husband's telling me, babe, you need to start leaving the house more because my list is getting longer and longer and longer. So you need to go find something to do during the day because you sitting home looking around is just not helping me right now. So, all my family is so glad that I did go and get the help. But I encourage anybody who is struggling with this to reach out to somebody and ask for help, even if it's me and you need to talk to somebody about this. This is not this is something I've been struggling with for almost 3 years. It's just gotten to the point where I said no more. So reach out, get that help if you need it. And, you can overcome this stuff. You really can, because I'm in the process of doing that now.
Thank you so much. I know that wasn't easy for you to share by means, but I think it's so powerful because it says my mic is unmuted. Good. Because so many times we feel like we have to put up this perfect persona, right? Like so many times we have to Thrive fix everything. Thrive fixes a lot, you guys, but it's okay to still have things that you have to work on. And, I know you've been doing a lot of yoga and a lot of self-care. And I see my watch go off at 10:30 at night as you're closing your rings. And you guys, I just want so many of you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this. And that's one of the biggest blessings that you will get from Thrive. Not only do you feel better with the 3 steps, not only, do we get paid, but you get a tribe of women that get you, right? Like that is absolutely huge. Thank you so much. I know you got your babies up and running around. I appreciate you taking the time this morning to hop on with us. Thank you, Sarah. Um, all right, so we are going to kick it over to Stacie, if that's okay. Stacie is such a dear friend to me. We've known each other for years and years and years. And Stacie is a single mom. I'm not going to take away her story. I'm going to let her share this story, but this woman is strength. This woman is perseverance. I can't wait for you to share your story and what's on your heart. Go ahead, Stacie.
Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me? Okay, I feel like my phone's like doing weird stuff right now. My little guy got up with me this morning, and if y'all know us, we do not wake up to alarms. We like to sleep in. So he was just having a meltdown about not being able to find a Lego. So hopefully I can get through this. But I'm so honored to be asked to come on, and I just wanted to piggyback a little bit on what Sarah and Kendra were saying before I share my story about what you're posting. And I will say that I have struggled with that comparison in the past as well. Unfollow people that make you feel like crap. If you don't feel inspired and you feel jealous, unfollow those people and follow someone that inspires you. And you're never going to go wrong sharing your post with feelings. People can relate with feelings. They can relate how it would feel to not be yawning their way through the day, or taking naps on the couch and sleeping their life away. They can relate with, who can't relate with struggling financially. Even some of the most wealthy people in the world had struggled. So I strongly urge everyone, like, I don't know what to post. Share how you're feeling. Where were you before? Where are you now? And where are you going to be? And people can really, really connect with that. You can never go wrong. And it's very authentic, and people feel that. Energy is everything. People feel what you're feeling in your posts and your messages. So make sure you're taking care of you and you're feeling good. And that comes through with everything else. But I'm excited to share my story. I get emotional about it sometimes, so hopefully I don't today. But I'm a single mommy. I've been a single mommy since my son was 4 months old. His dad left. There was some cheating and things going on, and it absolutely freaking broke me. It broke my soul. I was a brand new mom. I'd want to be a mom my whole entire life. And I'm like, I'll be damned if this child sees me crying or upset. I'm just going to be strong, and I'm going to get through this. I'm going to cry when he sleeps. And I prayed my little heart out every single night, soaking my pillow, praying to God to give me an answer to feel better and for an opportunity to, figure out a way to take care of this child, give him the life that he deserved. I was a bartender. And when I got pregnant with my son, I sold my car because I thought, you know what, then I'll be able to stay home on maternity leave longer. Then his dad left. It was just kind of a nightmare, but this was an answered prayer for me. It has not been easy. I don't think it's easy for anybody, but it's especially not easy for those of us going through a heartbreak. Being a single parent, trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do, trying to feel good when you don't feel good. But I will say, I know that, the focus of the Zoom today is really talking about giving grace and making sacrifices. And you have to give yourself grace and know that every day you showed up and did the best that you could. And I will say, when it comes to sacrifices, oh my gosh, I have it's so hard to balance all the things. I think you all, like, everyone can relate with that, but it's really hard when you're a single mom and you're bartending. And I just remember, like, if I can just put my head down, for 6 months, for a year, whatever, and just, shut off all the noise and get super duper hyper focused. If someone sent me a message and I was bartending, I was like running into the bathroom to try to answer these messages, or utilizing my upline to like get people, into 3 ways. You can do anything you put your mind to. And I know that because I've done it. I don't know. I feel like there's more to my story, and I feel like I also went a little bit off track. I get really nervous doing these, so I'm like literally shaking, and like everything I wanted to say, I don't feel like I said it. I don't know. Do you have any questions you want to ask me, Kendra? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. No, don't be sorry. And you guys, you can be in this business for years and years and years and still get nervous talking to all of you beautiful ladies. It's okay. So just to backtrack a little bit, the reason why Stacie's sharing all of this is she's having to work this business. Her goal right now is 80K. Okay. So let's talk about your goal really quick, because you're going to hit that, what that means to you and your family. But what are you doing? And we're talking, last night we had like a good talk about, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to invest in your business? And I know right now you're homeschooling Murphy. That's not necessarily because it's the most awesome thing to do, but you're willing to do that to have that security of having him home with the crazy world we're living in right now, right? But then also because you're able to work this business in the nooks and crannies of your day. And I know for you, your mindset is, if anybody's going to do this, I have to take the success into my own hands. All I can do is lead by example, lead from the front. I know you unlocked your triples last night, so congrats on that. But can you just share a little bit about your mindset and your perseverance, and that manifestation piece that you have, and just how you keep on track being a single stay-at-home mom when this is your main focus?
Yeah, I mean, my mindset's everything. So a lot of people don't agree with my parenting style of keeping my child up late with me at night, but I keep him up with me. We go to bed together, and then I wake up in the morning and I start my days by myself. It is my lifeline. I realized a long time ago, I needed that time to myself more in the morning than I do sitting on the couch at night drinking a glass of wine and him sleeping. So that's the number one thing I've done. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but that's something I need. I need to start my days out solo. I get up. Journaling has been the most amazing thing I have ever done for myself. And I actually realized yesterday, I was venting to Kendra about something, and I'm like, gosh, it's been a long time since I really, vented to anyone, or really, kind of got a little fired up. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't journaled in 3 days. And I don't know what it is about putting pen to paper, but anything you're feeling, you just write that down and let it flow. And it's so amazing how it changes the relationship with yourself and with other people, because then you can come to the table with positivity and not, bringing your garbage and dumping it on other people, because our energy that we have affects other people. It's so important for me to try to keep my energy levels up. Personal development's huge. Don't try to force yourself to read something you don't like. I mean, I've started books and I've ended them, and I give myself grace and go, okay, that's just not for me, or that's just not, my season of life right now. I will tell you guys, I'm absolutely obsessed with The Illusion of Money right now by Kyle Cease. I thought it was going to be all about money, and it's all about you and walking in your true purpose, and feeling abundant and being present, and how those feelings attract the abundance that you want. It's The Illusion of Money by Kyle Cease. It's CEASE. He's also on YouTube. And he also made the book into a documentary. So it's kylecease.com/movie. So there are free options too. I know for me in the beginning, I'm like, I'm not spending $15 on a book. That's diapers. Like, I was in a point of desperation where I had to count every penny. So yes, I am a full-time stay-at-home single mommy now. This is something that I had set out to do. And, we're not millionaires by any means, but it was my, I reached this goal, and then COVID hit, and I'm like, I'm not sending my son to school in a mask. So he's home full time. they're calling it virtual school, but I'm homeschooling. There's no teacher. It's all, we get the curriculum and then I have to sit down with him and teach him every day. And it's been the most amazing thing ever. I always thought like, I wanted to be a full-time stay-at-home mom because I didn't want to miss football games on the weekends. That's when I bartended. I wanted to pick him up from school. That's when I had to go check. I had to go clock in. And so I'm so glad that I never gave up on my dreams when things got really hard and people quit on me. And sometimes I wanted to quit on myself because now we're in this position where I am able to stay home with him and going after that $80,000 bonus, and I urge you guys to do this. What does that look like once a month when you hit the 4K or 12K or 40K or 80K or 200K bonus? What does that dollar amount look like? Put it on paper, spend it. I will tell you, I was sitting on the floor and I had written everything out and I had spent it. And then I just went like right to, I don't know, Zillow or something. And I saw this house and I started bawling because I realized we can buy any house we want if I can just get to this level. And my son was like, why are you crying? Like I cry all the time. So like he's used to it and he just kind of thought it was funny. And he came and sat on the floor with me and was like looking at the pictures and he's like, Mom, can we move in tomorrow? And like, if you're not sharing your dreams and building a dream board with your kids, I really urge you to do that because he is constantly like, when are we going to move into our house? When are you going to get me a cat or a dog or whatever? Because we rent right now. So I don't know. Those are just my, things. I did want to say, there are 4 things that I say to myself all the time. And I feel like I say this all the time, you guys, I am a freaking master manifestor and I am, and I will journal about that. And I will journal the proof that I am that, because your subconscious mind and your mind your mind will grab for proof, even if it's crappy. Your subconscious mind needs to be certain about something. So I will journal about like, I am certain that I am a master manifestor because these are the things that I have manifested. And I write things on my mirrors, and these are things that I repeat to myself all the time, especially when I'm doubting myself. And this one is the most simple one ever. I have it on my vision board. I say it to myself all the time. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. I haven't signed up a new customer in a while. Anything is possible. When I literally have someone message me on Messenger that I'm not even friends with, and they're like, hey, do you sell Thrive? Can I buy it? Like it works, but you have to believe it works, right? So just repeat to yourself over and over again until you do believe it, if you don't believe it the first couple of times. So anything is possible. Miracles are normal. And if you need proof of that, go to Google. Like, show me some extraordinary miracles that have happened to people. Miracles are normal. Things are always working out for me. And there's one other one, but I'm too nervous to remember it and I didn't write it down. I wrote it on my mirror in my bathroom. I don't know. But anyways, those are the 3 that I can repeat to myself without looking where I've written it down somewhere. So anything is possible. Miracles are normal. And things are always working out for me. Repeat those to yourself daily, write them down daily, and watch your life transform, because what you're feeding to, your soul and your mind and your subconscious mind will come true.
Oh my God.
So that's it. That's all I have. I don't even know if I answered your question and finished sharing my story.
No, that's perfect. And that's, you guys, this is just raw and real, off the cuff, from the heart. And this is why I'm so thankful for these morning Zooms 3 days a week, because I feel like you get to feel your heart from different people and you get to connect on so many different levels. And Stacie, I couldn't thank you more. And I know it hasn't been always rainbows and sunshines, but your perseverance and your heart and your grit is like nothing else I've seen. And I'm just so blessed to be able to lock arms with you and be on this journey with you. And I'm just excited to celebrate massively in Traverse City when you unlock that 80K bonus. And I know you're going to do it.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I just want to say one more thing, because I feel like we covered this on our team meeting last week. If you're really struggling to get to the next level in your business, unplug for a week and dive deep on some personal development, because I will tell you, anytime I've had resistance to leveling up, it was a me issue, whether I didn't think it was possible, or I needed to build my leadership skills, or I needed to believe in myself, or whatever. Take that time for yourself, because it just being on the hamster wheel, you can get really frustrated and burnt out. Take some time for you. Take some time to love you. Think about how 5-year-old you would want, you to make you feel and nurture yourself and take care of yourself and give yourself grace, because the way you treat yourself is going to affect everyone else in your life, including, you know, your team, your future team that needs you to show up as your best, most authentic version of yourself. And you will get there when you're really connecting with yourself and working on yourself. It's not always easy. It's hard. And if you cry, like, that's okay. That's, you know, that's you releasing those, you know, pent up emotions and healing, so that as you heal, you can rise up. So I'm going to stop talking now, but thank you for having me on. I just love you so much. If it weren't for Kendra, I wouldn't be here. You know, and just know that there are people out there that are laying in bed at night, bawling their eyes out, praying to God for an answer, and you're that answer. So be confident in what you have and sharing your story. People need you. People need you to show up in the world and share what we have, so that you can change their lives. And you can have someone on a Zoom like this someday going, thank you so much for bringing me on board and leading the way. So I just love you so much. And I'm seriously going to stop talking now.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And you guys, it's just so humbling when you look around, and it truly is a ripple effect, right? It's a ripple effect of, you can put one boulder in the lake and you have these waves, and then the waves go away, or you can constantly trickle those pebbles, and those waves just continue on and on and on and on. And those pebbles represent all of the lives that we get to touch, we get to impact, we get to be a part of, and we get to say yes to do that. So thank you so much, Stacie. I appreciate you so much. And, you know, I think I just keep circling back to this whole idea. You know, we signed up for these. Brittany is so amazing. She has our schedule out for, you know, a couple of months in advance. So Brittany, you guys all please say thank you to Brittany. She is the backbone of these morning Zooms, and you don't get enough shout outs. So we're just so appreciative of you. But I had signed up for this Zoom with my team months ago, or, you know, about a month ago, and I'm just kept thinking, I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What is, you know, like the theme of the day? And Brittany always asks what the theme is, and it just keeps coming back to, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to invest in your business? And I really want you guys to think about that, because life is crazy. You know, I've got a not so supportive husband all the time. Still to this day, I know I talk about that. My husband's amazing. He's just not super like gun ho on board with everything. You know, I run the kids twice a day to school. Well, 4 times a day. They're at different times, and they're in person right now. So that breaks up my day. You know, we have lacrosse in the evenings. And so it's just so hard. I feel like it's constant distractions that I'm doing. And so when I get to sit down at night, when I get to sit down with my phone, when people are actually on, when people are, you know, home from work and able to respond to my messages or put me in three-way messages with their prospects and, you know, future promoters or customers or whatever it is, I'm getting a side eye. Right? I don't know if you guys can feel me, but I'm getting a side eye. I'm getting the look. I'm getting the, oh, you're always on your phone, but the truth is I'm not. Those are the times that I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice that side eye, put the blinders on. I don't see it. I don't hear it. I'm not feeling it, in order to invest that time into my business, because that is when I can make an impact. I don't need to sit on my phone all day long. I was telling Stacie yesterday, I'm like, I feel like I just need to do all my personal things between 9 and 11 a.m. because that time is usually pretty quiet for the most part. My messenger is really quiet during that time. And so I need to change what I'm doing. I need to hop on the elliptical during that time and push play on my on demand to get my workouts in. I need to be investing in myself, showering, tidying up the house, things like that, getting dinner made for the evening. So that way, when we get home from all of the things and I get done being the go-go mom and doing all the things, it's all done. So the side eyes can come and I'll be like, I handled it. So take a look at that and find out those nooks and crannies in your day that you can, really?
Did Kendra freeze? I think she might have, yeah.
Okay.
She lives like I do with bad signal. Oh, she just hopped back on.
Okay.
Hey, Kendra, you there, girl?
Oh my gosh. Sorry,
Okay.
guys. Wow. So that was my Samsung that just died. Sorry. Anybody could do this, you guys. All of a sudden I was like, where'd you go? So Heather, I don't know where I cut off at. I'm sure you guys probably are like, what the heck's happening? But just find that time throughout your day where you can maybe shift a couple of things. If the side eyes are going to be there, they're going to be there. But they're going to thank you when your life changes forever. I promise you. They're going to say, you know what? I'm so sorry. I was such a stickler or a thorn in your side when you were doing these things, baby. You did it. It is always so worth it. And those kids, if you sit them down, and this is one thing I have to tell my kids, I'm like, you seen mommy driving you guys back and forth today? Just because mommy doesn't go to an office or leave for work doesn't mean I don't have to work. And a lot of times, you guys, I will get my laptop out, put it on my lap. And if I have my laptop on my lap, nobody looks at me. Nobody messes with me, even though I'm doing everything from my phone. So if you have to do some of those things to appease, to sacrifice, to invest, do it, you guys. It's good for the heart and it's good for the soul. And not every day is perfect, but you have to find those areas in your life that you are willing to sacrifice, whether it's getting up earlier, staying up a little bit later, cooking dinner, during the morning, maybe throwing stuff in the crock pot so you can be on Zooms in the evening. You have to do those things. You have to. These next 4 months are so important and the time is going to fly by. And Heather, I'm going to bring you on because we had a conversation. We know what it's like to go after bonuses. We know what it's like to hustle. We know what it's like to hit the top ranks of companies. And you guys, it doesn't happen while you're sitting on your hands. It doesn't happen while you're wishing for people to come to you and you're posting and praying. It happens with grit. It happens with hustle. And it happens when you work your tail feathers off. So Heather, I want to bring you on and have you close us out, girlfriend. And Brittany, I'm sure you have whoever is going to be doing our 100 Days of Brave at the end as well.
Hey, girl. Hey, you guys. Good morning. You're not going to see my face this morning because I, like Kendra, have a bad signal. So I'd rather you hear me than necessarily see me this morning. You guys, these stories this morning hit me in all of the areas. Stacie, I love that you literally said, stop, do some self-development, because usually if you have an issue, it's a you issue. I love that because isn't that really the truth? I mean, when you sit and think about the roadblocks you have in your business and the things that you're facing and the obstacles, is it really that person that didn't message you back? Is it really the new promoter who ghosted you after they signed with a 400 pack? Is it really that person who came to you and just like dumped all their stuff on you from your team? Or is it you? Is it your head, your mind, your space of what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself and what you're believing is not really the truth? I started reading this book and it's super deep and it's taken me a little bit and I'm just digging apart bits of it. And I think I talked about this before on our morning Zooms, is I've been meditating and actually went live on my Facebook page like a week ago. I talked about anxiety. And I love that Sarah, I believe her name was Sarah, at the beginning was so raw and vulnerable and real, because you guys, that's what connects us to other people. Our humanity, our vulnerability. If you don't know about vulnerability and how beneficial that is to your life, your growth, your business, go watch Brene Brown on Netflix. She talks completely about the power of vulnerability, because that's what people want to see. And I'm not saying make a post and say my life completely sucks, I hate everything. I mean vulnerability in the way of saying, you know what, today was a hard day for me. Today, I struggled with anxiety. Today, I didn't feel supported by my husband. Today, my kids drove me absolutely crazy. But you know what? Tonight, I sat down as a mom and I took 20 minutes to myself. I went in the bath. I took a glass of wine or whatever you did, because people want to know that there's other people that feel the way they do. But when you give them a solution to the problem they're facing too, that's where the power of connectivity comes from on social media. because I did the same things that everybody's talking about today on this Zoom. I compared myself. I was like, I don't have a cute selfie. I look homeless 99% of the time because let's be honest, I'm at home. I'm doing the same thing. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm trying to do all of the things since this global pandemic, like all of those. I also suffer with anxiety. I also had to get to a place where I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to take some medication to help me over this bump, this hurdle, because the last year has been a lot. And even if you've heard my stories before on other Zooms and different things, it hasn't just been the last year, it's definitely been the last several years for me. And it's okay to say, you know what, I need to do this for myself so I can do all of the other things. So I love that you shared that, Sarah, because I think a lot of people believe that they're supposed to handle all this stuff by themselves. And let's be honest, you can't. Like it is just so much sometimes as a wife and as a mom and as somebody who's trying to hustle and grind and build a business. I made a post yesterday, and I believe this to the core of me. Prayer is part of my business plan every single day. Every single day. And I believe so much what Stacie was sharing about manifestation. So I was literally going through my Facebook memories this morning, and my Facebook memory from 8 years ago, which is as long as I've been in this industry, I made a post, and the post said, God has plans for your life and will open doors to you that no man can shut. And I thought, wow, that was 8 years ago. I was not where I am in my life when I made that post. But what I did believe was that something better was going to come my way. I didn't understand network marketing, but I joined it. So maybe that's you. You're like, I've never done this before. Is this possible? Can I get to the top of a company? Can I earn a 4K bonus? Can I earn a 40K bonus? Yes. But manifestation and what you believe and all those things that Stacie was saying is so vital, because you are going to have those days when you're in the trenches and you're grinding, when somebody's ignoring you or the messages aren't popping up like you should, where you're like, oh, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Am I saying something wrong? You have to get rid of that and unattach yourself from those thoughts. So I'm reading a book right now called The Untethered Soul. And it actually goes a lot to do with meditation, because it says your thoughts are not who you are. And the more that you start sitting with those thoughts and letting them flow through you, instead of attaching your worth to them, instead of attaching who you believe they tell you you are, like they're not actually you. Like you can let them go in and let them go out. So when you're having that thought of, oh, I don't know if I can do this, you literally can say to yourself, that is not the truth. That is not the truth of who I am. That is not what I believe. And I am going to let that thought go, because the opposite of that really will take you down, where you will attach your worthiness to that, your belief of who you are, and be like, yep, see, I know that's who I am. I know this isn't for me. That isn't going to do anything for you. But actually, so meditation is huge for me, that 10 to 15 minutes, because I'm pulled in 1,000 different directions. I lead a huge team. I'm trying to help people grab bonuses. I'm trying to homeschool my kids and, like take care of my pets and my husband. Like there's so much for all of us every day. So that 10 to 15 minutes has been my ritual. That's for me and my soul and my belief system. And if you don't meditate, it's at first I was like, oh my gosh, I have a really hard time sitting still for 10 minutes and not thinking. But what I realized is meditation isn't teaching you not to think. It's not teaching you to shut your mind off. It's teaching you to allow your thoughts to flow and not attach value to the negative thoughts that come in, and just to release them and let them go and move on. And to empower yourself with the good thoughts that come in. Like, this is going to happen. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of a beautiful life. I am worthy of not having debt. I am worthy of getting this bonus. Listen, we all have, it doesn't matter where you are in this company. I've been at the top of the company since I've been with Thrive for, my first 8 months. I've been here for 4 years. I will have days, ask Kendra, ask Lisa Fuller. I literally will have days myself where I'm like, am I doing something? Am I saying something that isn't hitting home for people, right? And I have to say that that's not the truth. I have to even tell myself that on days. I think there is no place where it's always perfect. It's a readjustment. It's a constant self-evaluation. And I have been one of those people, and I think maybe it's childhood, who knows? but I have this personality type about me where I am such an overachiever to the point where I'm always like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Because it's the way my head works, it's the way my brain works. But I have had to learn that with my success, I've had to also realize that I had to detach my value from that, even without my success, even without hitting Millionaires Club, even without having this life and this income. I'm still great. I'm still an amazing human being. I still have a light and a soul that's meant to touch other people's life. And it has nothing to do with the number in my bank account. It literally doesn't. So you can't just attach your value to achievement. You have to attach your value to who you are as a human being, and that will help you to achieve. That will help you to reach your goals. I mean, it really does, because if you're always attaching your value to an outcome, you're going to be disappointed a lot. You're going to feel like you're not good enough. You're not trying hard enough. You're not worthy of these things. And that isn't true. So starting your day with self-love and gratitude for where you are, always, always. The gratitude is so huge. I get up in the morning, and if I have thoughts that are in the direction that I do not want them to go, I will do my meditation, and then I will say a prayer, and I will say, God, bring the people into my life today that I meant to help, that I meant to lead, and then I meant to change their life in some way. Because that is when those people will just be flowing into my inbox. And you know what? Sometimes those conversations aren't just completely Thrive related. I want to connect with people on a human level. I want people to read my posts on social media, or, to see something I did that was live and message me and be like, that resonated with me. You know what? I struggled with that too. I appreciate you being vulnerable and real and sharing yourself. You have no idea the impact you're making on people's lives, because most people aren't going to tell you. But you'll get those random people like once or twice a month that will be like, you have no idea how much you've inspired me. That's who you're speaking to when you go live and you're scared to death, right? You're so scared, like, oh my gosh, my heart is pounding. Listen, I still get nervous doing lives. I still get nervous doing Zooms. I think that's just the human element. And I think that should be the thing that drives you, right? I was listening to something the other day from Matthew McConaughey, and he's like, squash your fears. You see all these people with these t-shirts on. And he's like, I don't do that. I'm still scared. I don't want to squash my fears. I want to do it afraid, but I'm not going to remove the human element and the human emotion that I don't have a fear, because I do. Let the fear drive you. Let the fear motivate you, because people will gravitate toward that. They feel that from you. They know, wow, she did it anyway. She talked about it. She manifested it. She's been posting about it. She went live about it. And I can really feel that she was scared, but she did it. And I know for me, getting on the Zoom this morning and listening to these two amazing ladies really hit me in so many ways, because they chose this morning to be real with us, to be vulnerable with us. That is what will connect you to so many people. It's such an amazing thing. Like just be real and human and watch the people flow to you. The people that are meant to be in your life, that are meant to be there. So, oh my gosh, okay, so I want to talk a little bit about running for bonuses, because I kind of went into the whole, the self-development part of these morning Zooms are my favorite. But I, just like Kendra had said, I have run for bonuses. I have grabbed bonuses over here. I'm actually running for an 80K bonus under my husband's account. These next 3 months that we have in front of us, we're coming on the end of January. These bonus windows have only been open for 3 weeks, and I'm already seeing so many amazing things happen, and so many people already grab 4K, 12K, 40K, 80K. You're seeing them in the dream team. Take those and use those to inspire you. Don't look at them and say, I'm not there yet. You have 3 months, and you're going to have to ask yourself what you're willing to do in the next 3 months in order to get that, because it's going to be work. I've never been a leader who's going to tell you can come in and money's going to fall from the sky and you're going to grab bonuses and it's just going to be amazing with all these awesome things. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to get busy. You're going to have to do the things afraid. You're going to have to be in messenger with people. You're going to have to be bold and excited. And have a sense of urgency. I've been coaching my team and talking to them about the 2 things that I think are the most valuable things that you're going to have in the next 90 days in order to grab bonuses. And it's a sense of urgency when you're talking to people, and it's a level of excitement that maybe you don't yet have. Get in those 3-way messages and have those people that have those 2 things that maybe you don't possess yet, let you seal the deal. Let them help you, rock out the next 400 pack and get excited with a new person, and let them help you cast the vision. If you have a hard time with casting a vision for somebody else, allow your leader to do that. I mean, why do you think Lisa does opportunity lives and, my team does opportunity Zooms? There's a reason. It's because it's just a place for you to attach somebody to hear the story, hear what's possible. If that's not something that you possess right now and you're a little nervous and shaky in those conversations, which is totally fine, use that third-party validation. I can't tell you how important 3-way messages are. It's probably the one thing that I've been preaching the most, because that's where the excitement happens. That's where the urgency happens. That's where the connectivity happens, the human element, the, hey, you know what, me too. Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing your story. Because guess what? I'm a hot mess mom of 3 kids too, and I definitely did not have my poop in a group before I was a thriver. All of those things happen in 3-way messages. So here's the other thing too. Don't just post and pray. It's not enough. You can't just post. That's just like saying, I'm going to go drop my line in the water and put my fishing pole at the end of the dock, and I'm going to walk away. No, there's so much more to it. There's so much more to this business. I've been telling people too, I've grown my business in both ways. I've done social media and I've done face-to-face. Yes, during a global pandemic, that has been very difficult. So we have this amazing tool of social media, but it isn't just about making a post. It's about connecting to other people. Go comment, go like, go follow people that inspire you. Send them a message that's not Thrive related as you look at their page, and be real with them and tell them what you connect with them. I'll give you an example of why this works and how this works. So I was in an RV group because I'm a RV mom, and I connected with this one woman, and we friended each other, and we just chatted back and forth about nothing, just RV stuff. She created her own group because she wrote a book about being a full-time RV mom on the road, homeschooling her kids. I'm like, wow, I can so relate to this girl, right? So she added me to her group. She's an author. She's putting her 2nd book out on Amazon. I didn't send her Thrive. I didn't get in her message and be like, hey, I'm a thriver. I want to tell you about this. I connected with her in a common thing that we had that we both enjoy to do in our lives. She came to me last week and said, listen, I'm launching this new book. I have this awesome group going, and I would love for you to go live and share how your business and this product has allowed you to do what I do, and how we can both be full-time moms out there in our RVs and live a life and make an income. And I'm like, okay, I would love to do that. I would love to share my passion, and I would love to share how this business has allowed me to have choices and options in my life. That one person connected has allowed me to connect and go live in an entire group that I would have never had access to before. Why? Because I connected with that person on a human element. That's the thing. What are your things? What are your 5 things you love? Go talk to people, have conversations, be authentic, be real, be vulnerable, but you got to get busy. Like, there is just no 2 ways about it. You've got to get busy and have a sense of urgency as to why people need to join you right now, and what's happening and what's amazing, and how you want to help them run for these bonuses, and how this product is going to absolutely change everything about their life now in the way that it is. I mean, that's the thing that I reiterate all the time as I'm talking to new people is, this is my goal, is to help you, right? So I'm going to let it go now, and I'm going to hand it over to Brittany, because I know she knows who the person is that is going to continue on with our 100 morning, is it 100 morning miracle, something like that. I know. So thank you guys for getting on this morning and pouring into yourselves and investing in yourself this morning. And thank you, ladies, for being so real and vulnerable. You really touched a lot of what I was feeling, and I know you did with so many people that have been on the Zoom this morning. So take it away, girl.
Oh my gosh. You ladies are flipping amazing. This was so good. Okay, so before we do the 100 Days of Brave, I want you all to drop what your golden nugget was from this Zoom, because Kendra's going to pick a winner for the giveaway and we will announce it after Star or Tiffany, I assume, because I didn't check beforehand, is reading. And if not, I have the book.
It's me.
Yes, good. Okay, I didn't want to read.
All right. Do you want me to go ahead and start, or do you want to pick a winner?
Go ahead,
Go ahead and start.
Okay, so we are starting a new chapter. And the title of the new chapter is Brave Enough to Dream. It's the brave ones who choose to dream. All right, so day 24, dream big. And while Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, he was reclining at a table, and a woman came with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There was someone who said to themselves indignantly, "Why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me." So that is Mark 14:3-6. Ever since third grade, my dream was to teach school. I'm bossy by nature, so being a teacher was a great outlet for bossy people like me. Midway through my senior year at the University of Georgia, right before I began my student teaching experience, my campus pastor at the Wesley Foundation, Bob Beckwith, came to me with an opportunity. Wesley allows students to stay on after their senior year as unpaid interns, and Bob wanted me to be the women's ministry intern. My big dream of teaching was in view, and all I had to do was fill out the right county applications and try to find a teaching job. On the other hand, interning sounded awesome. Many of my good friends were interning, including my best friend and roommate. And I had grown so much within that ministry that the opportunity to serve in return felt right too. But it was unpaid to intern at Wesley. I had to raise $15,000. On a Saturday morning before Christmas break, I sat in a comfy chair and read Mark 14:3-6. The woman with a flask of ointment gave everything that she had to Jesus, her heart, her sacrifice, and 1 year's wages. I knew I was being asked to push pause on my big dream, to give up a year's wages as an offering to Jesus, to serve college students and minister to Jesus himself. What I now see as God's biggest dream for my life. I did end up being a school teacher for 5 years after that, and it still amazes me how God's dream for me was so much greater than the one I'd been planning all along. Dream big, be brave enough to believe that as much as you could want, God could give you. We are meant to make a big impact on the planet, bigger than we could ever dream up on our own. Today's task is be brave. List 1 or 2 really big dreams that you have for your life.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That's so good, you guys. Okay, I'm going to hop over and just scroll. If you guys have not screenshotted the chat, do it now. Post it in your personal chats, your team pages, because you will see here there's proof, you guys. It's just over and over and over people sharing, what resonated with them. And that to me is a testament in itself, 1,000%. So picking a winner, and basically what you'll do, Brittany, is they'll contact you, Brittany. And then Lisa will get them out their prize, and they get to pick from the winnings. And so we'll send you an image of all that good stuff. So the winner today is, all right. I got to find one with the last name. Michelle Sutton. Be authentic and connect on a human level. Michelle Sutton. Michelle, reach out to Brittany Hyder, and she will be getting you all the details. Thank you so much for you guys for investing into your morning. Thank you for allowing us to come into all of your homes or your workspaces to share our first hour of the day with you all. Thank you so much, Brittany. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day.
Bye, y'all.